Good afternoon, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day for Tuesday, December 2nd, 2014, around 3:23 p.m. in Billerica, Massachusetts. It's a cloudy day out, very cold, only about 35 degrees or so, and it's going to be some rain and snow showers later on tonight. Could be some minor accumulation in the Worcester Hills and the Berkshires. Eastern Massachusetts is just going to be plain rain showers, maybe a snowflake mixed in here or there, but everything's going to be okay. And this is in front of a preceding a warm front. It's going to shoot up to 50 degrees tomorrow. Then the rest of the week's going to be up and down in temperatures. Some news to report. The St. Louis Blues have signed the winningest goaltender in NHL history, Martin Brodeur, to a one-year contract prorated at $700,000. Martin Brodeur wants to win one more Stanley Cup before he retires. It's going to be strange to see Martin Brodeur in a different uniform because he was identified with the New Jersey Devil for 20 years. Also, sad news to report in the world of music. Longtime Rolling Stones saxophonist Bobby Keys passed away at the age of 70. And say a prayer for Hockey Hall of Famer Gordie Howe, who suffered another major stroke. Just pray for Gordie Howe. He's going to beat this, in my opinion. I think he's going to come back stronger than ever, in my opinion. And tonight, the reigning NBA most valuable player, Kevin Durant's going to make his debut with the Thunder. This is good news for the Thunder because they've been struggling the first part of the season. They have Westbrook back in the lineup and now Durant, so they're going to move back up in the standings. By the end of the year, the Thunder will get a good seed in the Western Conference playoffs. And that's about it on that. My next subject today is about 2015 predictions. This is going to be the first of a series of so many of them during the next 4 weeks into the year, into January of 2015. In the past few years, I've been making like update statuses on predictions, what's going to happen in 2015 almost every day in December. Now I have my own video blog, so I could do it for videos, but it's not going to be every day during the rest of the year. It's going to be maybe 2-3 times a week into 2015. The first subject I'm going to talk about is who's going to go into the Hall of Fame for baseball, basketball, professional football, hockey, and the WWE. Those are the 5 major Hall of Fames that are most recognizable for people, in my opinion. Okay, here are my predictions. For the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2015, I predict that pitchers Pedro Martinez and Randy Johnson will get into the Baseball Hall of Fame very easily. They'll be first ballot Hall of Famers. The big unit and Pedro will probably get over 90% of the vote. I wouldn't be surprised if Randy Johnson gets maybe 94, 95, or 96% of the vote. And Pedro's going to get 90% of the vote. Also, Craig Biggio is going to make the Hall of Fame this year as well. He's going to jump over the 75% line. And I'm also predicting that John Smoltz is not going to make the Hall of Fame on his first try, but he'll be like 72, 73, 74% of the vote. He'll hover around that one. He's definitely going to get into the Hall of Fame next year. If he retired in 2008, he probably would have been in the Hall of Fame. He would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer because of Greg Maddux and Tommy Glavine, in my opinion. I think other things that I'm predicting for the 2015 Hall of Fame that on the ballot, that Jeff Bagwell's numbers for like the vote total will probably jump to 60%. Mike Piazza's probably 65% or so. But I think people like Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens' vote totals will probably go down. I wouldn't be surprised if their vote totals go hover around 30% or even less. And also, I think Kurt Schilling's Hall of Fame vote totals probably go up because of Randy Johnson. I predict he will have about 35 to 40% Kurt Schilling. And I think the people who probably be dropped out of the Hall of Fame ballot this year will be Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa. They're like under 10%. If they go under 5%, they're eliminated from the ballot. And I think like Gary Sheffield and Nomar Garcia-Power will probably stay on the Hall of Fame ballot for the first time. But I think they'll hover around 5 to 10% in my opinion. And also I think the Veterans Committee will vote in pitchers Jim Cott and outfielder first baseman Dick Allen to the Hall of Fame. In the Veterans Committee, the golden era of baseball. And also I think getting the Ford Frick Award will be current San Diego Padres announcer and former California Angels announcer and NBC announcer Dick Enberg. Okay? And for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I predict that quarterbacks Kurt Warner is going to go into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. Also, I predict Junior Seau, defensive player, is going to go in the first ballot. I think wide receiver Tim Brown's going to get voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Marvin Harrison, another wide receiver. Edgar James will get voted into the Hall of Fame. Kicker Morton Anderson. And I think Coach Tony Dungy will get voted into the Hall of Fame. Those are the 7 people I think will get voted into the Hall of Fame. That's the maximum amount they could have in any given year is 7. So I think they'll be voted into the Hall of Fame. And I think the winner of the 2015 Pete Rozelle Memorial Award for broadcasting excellence for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I think will be longtime CBS host of the NFL Today, Brett Musburger. In my opinion, he'll get the Pete Rozelle Award. For the Pro Hockey Hall of Fame, the Hockey Hall of Fame, I predict this is going to happen. I think getting voted into the Pro Hockey Hall of Fame in 2015 is longtime defenseman of the Detroit Red Wings, Nicholas Lindstrom and Sergei Fedorov. They're up for the first time in 2015, and they're definitely going to be first ballot Hall of Famers in my opinion. And the other 2 I think is going to get voted in is Mark Recchi. This will be the second time he's eligible. I think he'll get in this time around. And the 4th one, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think I'm going to predict that Eric Lindros gets voted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 2015 because his former general manager of the Philadelphia Flyers, Bobby Clark, who's a Hockey Hall of Famer, is now on the Hockey Hall of Fame committee, even though like Bobby Clark and Eric Lindros have had a falling out a few years ago and stuff like that. I think Clark is going to persuade the other people on the Hockey Hall of Fame committee to take a look at Eric Lindros, and I think he's definitely going to get into the Hall of Fame this year, Eric Lindros. And I think the Forrest Hewitt Memorial Award winner for the 2015 Hockey Hall of Fame, I'm going to predict this one. I predict it will be given to Barry Melrose, who's a longtime analyst for hockey on ESPN and the NHL Network. So I predict that. And for the 2015 Pro Basketball Hall of Fame, I'm predicting the following people. I predict that Chris Webber and Dikembe Mutombo in the players wins of the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. Chris Webber was one of the best players in Sacramento Kings history. He made the Kings relevant in the late 1990s and early 2000s. They should have won the NBA title in 2002. And Dikembe Mutombo was one of the greatest defensive players in the history of the NBA and stuff like that. And I also predict that longtime Florida men's basketball coach Billy Donovan's going to be voted into the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame as a coach. I also predict that longtime Milwaukee Bucks player Sidney Moncrief's going to be voted into the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame, and maybe a couple of international players and a couple of ABA players, historic ABA players get voted into the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame. And also I predict the 2015 Kirk Gowdy Memorial Award for Broadcasting Excellence for the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame will be given to Mike Gorman, longtime voice of the Boston Celtics. And this is the last one prediction for the WWE Hall of Fame. I predicted 2015 the WWE's Hall of Fame inductees will be the late great Macho Man Randy Savage, longtime former WWE champion and IC champion, and former WCW World Champion, the Macho Man Randy Savage. And I also predict his like brother Lanny Poffo and his father like Angelo Moscott. Poffo will get voted into the WWE Hall of Fame. And I also predict that other inductees in the 2015 Hall of Fame will be Rikishi Fatu. And I'm also predicting that they vote Mickey James into the WWE Hall of Fame, and also Kevin Nash, but he'll be inducted into the Hall of Fame as Big Daddy Cool Diesel. I also predict that they vote the Doctor of Styles, the Reverend Slick, into the WWE Hall of Fame. And I also think they'll induct the late great Ray Stevens into the WWE Hall of Fame, and maybe one or two others. Plus they have to induct a celebrity, and I don't know what celebrity they'll induct into the WWE Hall of Fame. If I add to the guess, I think they should induct Mary Hart into the WWE Hall of Fame because she was part of WrestleMania 3. So I would do that for that. And that's about it, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. My 2015 predictions on various Hall of Fames. I'll be back later for my third and final video blog of the night, which will be about Dwight Gooden. Goodbye, everybody.